One, two, one, two, one. Turn me up. Turn me up.
The champ is here.
It's your boy. We been Israel, that people's champ, back with another YouTube live stream. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, you Negroes. Shout out to my trolls. Hope y'all doing well today. April 23rd, 2026. Today is Thursday. Is it Thursday already? Jesus, this week blew by. Thursday, y'all. Oh man, we are blowing through this month. Man. Yeah, baby. Oh man, how y'all doing today, man? Throwback Thursday already? Shit. But we're gonna get into a stock tip right now. I wasn't really planning on going going on this early, but I was looking, I go through do my business stuff during the day, and Bloom Energy caught my attention. So we're going to talk about Bloom Energy, okay? And we're going to get in that very shortly, but let's get our housekeeping stuff out the way so we can get on into that topic. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. Shout out to Love Dorsey. Move your ass around. Get the fuck out of here. How about that? I'm blunt today. The fuck out of here. You don't want to be here, bounce. This is big boy shit. This is big girl shit. This is grown people talk right now. No time for games and y'all 50-year-olds who want to act like y'all little kids and shit playing high school games. And y'all want to act like y'all bag chasing, but y'all broke as fuck, door dashing, all of, y'all motherfuckers. Y'all fake travelers. Take your ass on. Go plan your next trip. Have fun. Have fun. I'll like your pics. When you get back from your little bullshit vacation you was on by yourself, lonely as fuck, like you was here when you was home, you was lonely as fuck here, and then you went over to somewhere else, to Mexico, lonely as fuck. You was in the airport, lonely as fuck. I've been in the airport. I've seen y'all. Y'all sitting there in the terminal by yourself, looking lonely, looking at all the families and couples traveling together. It's you and your girls, y'all looking miserable. Like you miserable here where you are in America in your little lives. You're going to be miserable wherever you go. You are a miserable person. Y'all 50-year-old women talking about I'm trying to buy a house. I got a question for y'all. That all y'all who say that shit, because that's part of the playbook. It ain't just you who got that thought. All of y'all got that thought. You're 50 years old. You have no clue right now how to buy a house. You have no clue. You're not financially secure. You don't have any credit. How you going to buy a house? You're 50 right now, right? You got bad credit, matter of fact. Not only do you not have good credit, you have bad credit. You have no high credit. Your debt to income ratio is screwed up. So even if you manage to qualify for a subprime mortgage with high as hell interest, right? When do you plan on paying for this house? You plan on getting a 30-year mortgage at in your 50s. So you're going to be like 85, 90 before you pay your house off. So you plan on working till you're 90. You already got to get a part-time job or DoorDash now, right? Just so you can feed yourself. How you think you're going to add a high interest mortgage into your budget, into your expenses, right? Matter of fact, right, yeah, let's call it expenses because y'all don't even have a budget. Into your expenses. How, how, Sway? How does any of this make sense? And then somebody like me who understands things, understands finance and business and credit and mortgages and owning a house, because I've owned multiple. I try to talk to you and talk some sense into you, and y'all get angry and, oh, if you want my opinion, you'll ask for it. Yeah, so if you ain't tuning into the People's Pod, that's what I'm gonna do. When y'all need help, don't talk to me. Just tune into my podcast because that's the game y'all want to play. No problem. No problem. When you want to talk to me or you want to know what I know, you're going to ask me. That don't even make sense. You don't know what I know. So maybe you don't know to ask me in the midst of your chaos, you struggling. It's like seeing somebody drowning. They trying to tread water. You know, that's what it's like for me watching y'all. So me being a decent person, I try to lend you a hand to pull you to safety. But what you're saying to me is while you're in the midst of struggling and swimming and about the water's up to your neck, you're about to drown, only help you if you ask me in that situation. So I'm supposed to let you drown? Fine, I'm gonna let you drown. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take out my camera, record you saying that shit. I'm gonna screenshot the text message. That way, when your ass is dead, and the police come ask me, "Hey, why you ain't helped them?" I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I tried to help them. They refused my help. Here you go. Here you go. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna protect SYSBM. I forget that sometimes. I'm gonna save myself, black man. I'm gonna save myself because some of y'all, your attitudes are so friggin' ridiculous. It's not even worth it. But anyway, let me save my fury. I wasn't even in this mood. I just finished eating lunch and sitting here drinking my tea, watching Anton. I'm chilling, I was in a good mood. But I started thinking about shit as I jumped on here with y'all. And some of y'all are unbelievable. But anyway, welcome to the People's Podcast. I am your host, Bevan Israel, the People's Champ. On the way in the door, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, smash the bell, share it to your socials, hit the Cash App, y'all. Share $5 to the Pure Elite Tea Fund, $ send to the number 2, the letter V, send to V. Hit me up. Y'all see what I'm drinking? I'm drinking the home brew right now, but I'd like a little Pure Elite Tea, I'm gonna give me some. I need to order some. It's in my shopping cart. I don't have enough stuff in my cart right now that I really need. I do now that I think about it, I gotta do that a couple things. But I need to cross $35 in my cart so that way I can get my free delivery. And I try not to waste it. So I try to get up above $35. Like I don't like to do like a minimum. I like my minimum orders to be like $50, $60. So that way I'm not constantly ordering little orders and shit. Because it takes me a while to build up those little. Anyway, I'm very animated today. I see. Might need to take my walk, go check my mail or something. I got a lot of energy. So anyway, I am the day walker. I am the dark knight. I am the black maga. I am the shogun of Charlotte. I am the cookie monster. That's what the ladies call me anyway. I am Mr. Big Balls himself. Call me Pumpkin Escobar. I am the Heisenberg of this ish. They call me the Heisenberg because I give y'all that raw, pure, uncut, no impurities, straight, no chaser. I give it to you, baby. The Ben Israel himself. You can call me Izzy. You can call me V. Whatever you want. We're going to get this going, you know what I mean? We're going to get this show on the road today. I apologized the other night. I thought I was going to do a part 2. I don't know what happened. Honestly, now that I think about it, hell, did I do it? No, I didn't do it. I don't know what happened. I got distracted. I'm sorry. Something distracted me. I am getting sick. I don't know who the hell is outside just walking around in front of my door or in my front area out here, but they are annoying the fuck out of me today. Because every time they do that, my doggone phone is beeping and it's getting on my nerves. There you go again. I'm going to try to mute that shit. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do it. Damn. All right. I'm trying to, I don't know how to do it on this phone. There we go. No. All right, we're going to turn it off. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Wide sound, turn that. Well, I don't want all wide. See, if I turn this off, it turns off the ones I want to keep. Shit. All right. I got to play with it then. Notification. There we go. Let me turn it off for a little bit. Hopefully that'll do it. So anyway, yeah, something's going on because normally it don't beep, but it's like almost like that smoke detector sound. Beep every now and then. So that's what I'm hearing. It's annoying me. I've been doing it all day today. I don't know what. Normally it doesn't do that. I don't know. I'm looking out my door now. The kids ain't home, so it ain't the kids. And it don't even do it that much when it's the kids. So I don't know what the hell is causing that. And I don't think it's a bug like a bee or something. Because normally that don't trigger it. And I saw a guy walk past when I was standing in the kitchen. I don't know. After this video, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna stand at the door, go outside, see if I can figure it out. But it's annoying the hell out of me. It is really annoying me. It's irking me. But I do this every so often where I share stock tips with y'all. And I got a group of people that I always give stock information to, and we kind of rock with each other. I'm not a trained investor. I learned things on my own and, business, experience, that kind of thing. If I had some money, I'd do very well because the little bit of money I put in makes money. So anyway, I'm trying to share one with y'all right now that's hot. I've been sharing it with y'all right now, month to date. Bloom Energy. Matter of fact, let me pull it up because it was 59%. Let's see where it's at right now. Right now, month to date, Bloom Energy is a 63% gain. So, and I think it hasn't topped out yet. I think it's going to double that. This war is good for Bloom Energy. And a lot of these gas energy stocks. So I've been telling y'all, I'm not going to get into the long list of other stocks. I want y'all to focus on Bloom Energy right now. Take whatever you can, $5, $10. You really need to put at least $100. That's what I would do. If I had $100, and I'm sure most of y'all can scrape up $20, $40, $50 at least, but build it up. But you really don't have time to waste because it's going up. Bloom Energy is what you need to do. Put money in Bloom Energy right now. If you got more, hell, you can throw $1,000 on it, whatever. You're gonna make money. You're gonna make money. You're gonna make money. And I don't think it's really so much. See, this war is complicated. And a lot of y'all are missing it because y'all only think one move. Y'all play checkers or connect four. And y'all don't understand the, geopolitical politics. Y'all don't understand the global market. You don't understand how countries are interconnected to each other. So it's really about China, not Iran, that I believe is driving the gas prices to go up. That's what I believe. And because China buys so much oil and crude oil on the black market, that's why, Venezuela happened. And then that's really why Iran happened. It's about checkmating China so that way we got some leverage over them when it comes to Taiwan, and so we can get Taiwan under control and move those chip manufacturers back here. That's what it's about. Because we don't want to wind up in a real war. This ain't no real war. This is really a conflict. We don't want to wind up in a real war where we got to put boots on the ground because of China going into Taiwan. That's what it's about. But see, y'all don't see down the road. Y'all just want to, Trump bad, Trump bad. And y'all buy into that nonsense that y'all hear coming from the loud liberal. Because, Trump don't have a plan. Trump has been spelling out this plan for 40 years. All you got to do is look, Google it. You can see him talking about Iran in the 80s, Venezuela in the 80s, 90s. He's been talking about it the whole time, right? So this is really what he wanted to do in his first term. But because of that Russia fake shit that they did, the Democrats are so corrupt. Are y'all not paying attention to what just happened in Virginia? That corrupt shit that they just did, right in front of y'all faces. They didn't win that fair and square. The $60,000, not dollar, but 60,000 ballots that just they dropped at the last minute out of nowhere when they saw that they were losing. Because the no vote was winning. And then all of a sudden, in like a 5-minute period, $60,000 mail-in ballots came out of nowhere. Mail-in ballots supposed to come in first, not at the end of the night when you lose it. That's the games that they played. They did that during the 2020 election too, down there in Georgia. These are the games that they play. And it's always in these blue cities. Atlanta. That was Atlanta and Georgia that did it last time. This time it's what? Northern Virginia. And they gerrymandered the shit out of it. It went from being the most fair, bipartisan state as far as district organization. It was 6-5 Democrats to Republicans. 6 Democrats, 5 Republicans. It don't get no fairer than that nowhere in the country. Democrats say, oh no, we're going to play politics. And they told you the quiet part out loud. Oh, because we got to check, we got to put Texas in check. And if you fuck around, you're going to find out. And now he's scared in Florida, the Hakeem Jeffries I'm talking about. Again, your state, like North Carolina, ain't got nothing to do with Texas. We shouldn't disenfranchise voters in one state because of what's going on in another state. You don't like what's going on in that state, you got to go into that state and get it together. Not try to use states to play political games. No. And Texas wasn't the first. California wasn't even the first, but in recent history, California made they move first and really gerrymandered the shit out of California. But if you look at them New England states, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, there's like zero Republican representation. Now, even if you're not a conservative, you're not a registered Republican, fine. But Americans are supposed to believe in the Constitution in a sense of fair competitiveness, being competitive. So even though I don't agree with your politics, I believe you have the right to have them and argue your point. But what they want to do, and this is like I don't want to make this a black woman argument, but black women do this. They don't want to hear you. They don't want to even give you a chance to state your opinion. You just got to hear their side, and that's the end of it. I don't want to talk to you no more. Well, because they got so much power in the Democratic Party, that ideology is manifesting itself. So that's the way the Democratic Party is being ran now. So that's what you're seeing. 10-1, you go from 6-5 to 10-1. That's that ideology. I don't even want to hear you. So I'm gonna shut down the 49% of the state because I don't agree with you. And I'm like, how don't you agree with me when I ain't even told you what I got to say? I don't want to hear. I want to go back and forth with you. That's that attitude. But anyway, moving on to Bloom Energy. That's another topic. Moving on to Bloom Energy. We always talk as Black people about creating generational wealth. But the reason why you've been unable and unsuccessful in achieving this in any significant numbers is because you don't understand what generational wealth is and the formula for doing it. In order, y'all don't understand the game that's being played. The game that's being played is wealth, power, and resources. So what y'all do is only focus on one aspect of, not even one aspect, a part of one aspect. So when it comes to wealth, y'all focus on the income side of it. Well, in today's world, very few incomes are high enough to amass any wealth. That's why none of y'all know what your net worth is. You don't know what your net worth is. You don't own any land. You don't have any revenue generating assets. Everything you got is negative. You got a car that's negative for the most part. If you got a house, the vast majority of y'all ain't even gonna pay your house on. If you got a house, you started too late. Didn't I just tell y'all earlier that, 50-year-old chick talking about buying a house? What for what? 60-year-old people trying to buy houses. That's why the average home buyer, it used to be in your 20s. Now, the first time home buyer has slid to your 40s. So that means if you get a 30-year mortgage and at 40 something, you're going to be in your 70s before you pay your house off. And people are dying at like in their 70s, you dying. So as soon as you pay your house off, you die. You ain't never able to retire. Y'all have no retirement plan. Oh, I got a 401k. Yeah, but ain't nothing in it. You got nothing in your 401k. 401k is not meant to sustain you 100% when you retire. That's only part of it. You won't talk to no financial advisor. You won't talk to an accountant because you really have no need to talk to an accountant because you don't own nothing. That's why y'all only focus on your W-2 every year. And you go down to Walmart and talk to whoever the little tax people are that year, whether it's H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, or lately it's been Jackson Hewitt. They got the contract. I remember when it first started, it was H&R. But whoever it is that year, you give them your W-2 and they do your taxes and you happy. That's what y'all do. That's your tax strategy. Because you don't own shit, you don't know how to y'all go with a standard deduction, y'all don't know how to itemize. Y'all, these things I'm saying, you don't even know what I'm talking about. You don't understand. You don't understand that you have deductions because of your career. You don't even know. I've been telling y'all for years. There's a book called How to Pay Zero Taxes. It comes out every year on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. I know I've been buying it since the 90s. I don't buy it no more, but I bought it every year. And it tells you even specifically, there'll be sections of the chapters, specifically if you're a salesman, if you're a teacher, if you a doctor, lawyer, or, call center, whatever. They got different careers they highlight, and they give you tips on how to itemize. They got Uber drivers now, gig workers. Y'all don't know. This is why y'all ain't turning the gig apps. Y'all trying to make it a part-time job. You could make $100,000 doing gig apps, but y'all don't have no strategy and you don't understand. So you're really just creating more debt for yourself because all you're doing is speeding up the maintenance and wear and tear on your vehicle, and that you're kicking the can down the road because you don't have no strategy and you don't even know how. Y'all just take, when you door dashing or Uber eating or whatever you're doing, you just accept the next ride. You have no strategy on, oh, I'm going to accept this ride and not that one, or this is the area I should focus my activities on. No, you just go wherever they send you. I knew a girl that was in Winston-Salem, and she started these gig apps early. And sometimes I think she was doing Amazon, and yeah, she was primarily doing Amazon Flex. And sometimes she would wind up, one day she wound up down in Wadesboro. And I'm like, how the hell did you get from Winston-Salem to Wadesboro, North Carolina? How? Because she didn't know what she was doing. So I think she had it, for example, I believe let's say she had a delivery that took her slightly outside of Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem, for example, for those of you who don't know the area, is like an hour, maybe an hour and a half north of Charlotte, going up I-77 towards West Virginia, right? Going up that area and going over 40 or whatever, right? And so anyway, you will go up north I-77, and then when you hit I-40, you will go east. I-40 runs east and west. So you will go east, and that would take you into Winston-Salem and the back way into Greensboro and all of that, High Point going that way, right? Instead of going straight up 85 from Charlotte. So anyway, so it brought her out of Winston-Salem a little bit, like I think it brought her to Statesville. So now she's in Statesville, and then she picked up another delivery, Amazon Flex, in the Statesville area, or another gig app she was running, and that brought her from Statesville into Charlotte. I think Mooresville, right? So that's the Charlotte area. So then she went from here, her next delivery from Charlotte, it took her down into like Monroe, Indian Trail, Monroe area. So she's just progressively going further away from her home area. And now she's in Wadesboro. I mean, she's got to be, if I had to guess, Wadesboro to Winston. Well, say Wadesboro was almost 2 hours from Charlotte, right? And then you got another hour and a half, 2 hours. So you're almost 4 hours outside of your home driving area. And you got to get back to get your kids, because you got kids when they get out of school. Why are you so you don't have enough time to pick up enough work to work your way back home. Now, if you single and you got all day, then cool. And you making money, cool. That's good. But she just doing little Amazon packages, which was crazy to me. Because she had a SUV, and I couldn't understand why she wouldn't like pick up the larger packages. And then I asked her one day, like, why are you doing them small packages? Like, you paying more for gas per mile. You got more wear and tear. That heavy vehicle is gonna burn through tires quicker than a little Prius. You understand? So you got to make it worth your while per mile. That means you need to do the larger packages that the smaller cars can't do, because they pay you way more money. You know, like if you, that's why people drive the cargo vans and pickup trucks and large SUVs so they can fit those big packages in there, the TVs and things of that nature. I remember when I ordered my TV, it was a guy that was doing the Amazon Flex who delivered mine, and he was driving an SUV, and he told me he was like, "Yo, this is all I do." He's like, "I deliver TVs most of the time, most of the time." And it fit perfectly in my truck, in my SUV. I was like, that's what's up. That's what's up. But y'all don't have no strategy for nothing you do. You just it's like you like chicken with your head cut off. And that's the playbook that I keep talking about. I'm a DoorDash, but I ain't gonna have no strategy to it. Because if you had a strategy, you would just do it full time. Doing it part time ain't really helping you. You're kicking the car down the can. What did I tell you? The girl told me that she was doing between $70 and $120 a day door dashing on the weekends, right? So let's say you're doing it Saturday and Sunday, right? And you're maxing it out. That's 240, right? I'm trying to make the math. Let's say $250, right? You get a couple of tips in there to make it 250. But let's say you change your strategy and you start door dashing full time. Now, instead of you being in a W-2 worker, you're a full-time 1099 worker, and you've gotten smart and you incorporated yourself or you put yourself as a LLC. Now your tax strategy is changing. You are a business now. Now you got access to other resources that you didn't have as an employee. Now you are your own business. You got to start thinking like that. I mention it all the time. Like if you're an S corp, you can write the lease. You can write a lease off, meaning the government will pay your lease. You can write your lease off every year for 5 years. I believe is the max. At least that's what it was. I don't stay up to date on it like I used to when I was running my tax businesses. But this is all theoretical. Now, it real now you have to be smart when you structure your lease. And you can't run out here and buy an expensive car because of the miles that you're going to be putting on the car. And you got to be careful. And this is where you got to really sit down, do your research, talk to some experts, talk to people who know what they're talking about that can help you. This is why mentorship is important. And that's something we really lack in Black culture. We think like individuals and we got to start thinking like a collective, like a team. And you had in that team, you had people who specialize and have specialized knowledge. It's what I'm sharing with y'all now. So it starts when you get your car. So, well, it starts before you get your car because you need to know what car to get. So you got to start factoring in how much money you need to make. $120,000 a year, that's $10,000 a month, right? And how many miles are you going to have to put on your car to get to that number, right? So this is where miles, dollar per mile really matters. And you need to be aware of what is your fuel economy, the wear and tear, like how fast are you gonna go through your tires? oil changes, how many miles are you going to accumulate in a year. So you need to be very acutely aware of if you're driving, are you driving 1,000 miles a month? 1,000 miles a month is 12,000 miles a year. So when you get your lease, you can't sign up for a lease that's only allowing for 10,000 miles a year. So if you're driving 12,000 miles a year, you really need to be trying to get a lease that's closer to 15,000 miles a year. And that means when they adjust the lease, because they can structure the lease all kind of ways. When they structure your lease, you need your payment is going to be higher, or your buyout payment is going to be higher as well, or your buyout payment is going to be lower because your payment went up. So basically, the cost of the car, they're cutting it in half, usually 60-40. So now, do you want the 40% to be on the payment side and the 60% to be on the buyout side? There may be some penalties involved for that, or flip it, where 60% of the cost of the vehicle is on the payment, which is usually what you see. 60% of the cost of the vehicle is in your payment, and then 40% of the cost is on the back end. That's why usually when you buy those 3-year-old cars and 5-year-old cars, they're significantly cheaper because they stuck that depreciation and wear and tear all in to the front of the car, you know. So you got to have some knowledge and talk to somebody who understands leasing and financing. But so what I would do, I would try to get it a 70-30 split. Some of y'all like, what? Let me explain. So if you have an S corp, right? And you know the government is going to pay your lease payment, they're going to reimburse you the next year. It's always going to be a year behind. So the following year, when you do your taxes, because that's when you pay your taxes for the current year. We're in 2026 right now. So you're not going to get the benefit of this until you do your taxes in 2027 for 2026. So 70% of my Prius is in my payments. I'm doing that because the government is paying, right? And then at the end of the 5-year lease, because I'm going to do a 5-year lease so I could take full advantage of the government paying it off. I want to max it out. And at the end of that, I'm going to refinance the car or pay it off in cash. But I only have to pay 30% of the car's value because I got the government to pay 70% for me. Y'all, I'm blowing y'all mind. I know. Yeah, I know some things that y'all don't know. And this is the problem with us Black people. We always assume somebody actually doesn't know more than what we know, and you don't know shit. And you don't know shit because you ain't never studied nothing. You ain't never read nothing. You ain't never been to nobody's school. You ain't never studied business. You ain't never cracked open a book. At best, you Googled something and looked at a link. Or you heard somebody else say some stupid shit. Like some of you are going to take what I say and run with it without doing your homework. And I'm telling you right now, don't base your business off of this. I'm only trying to create inspiration. Now, if you want to get serious and actually implement something, you're going to have to hit the Cash App. $100 an hour. I'll mentor the shit out of it. And I'll give you an exact strategy for your situation. Hell, if you're local, I'll even go with you to your bank and help you sit down with your bank and negotiate some leases. Of course, at $100 an hour, you're gonna pay me to go with you. But we don't understand that as Black people. You got to pay for expertise. But by paying me, you're gonna save money. I already just showed you how to get the government to pay for your car. I just threw that out there because it's public knowledge. Y'all just don't look. So anyway, now instead of you financing your car, and which is stupid, because you're gonna put so much wear and tear in your car, then you're gonna want to trade your car in at the end of the say 5-year period. You're gonna have an ass load of miles on your car and a lot of wear and tear and damage because you ain't gonna maintain it the way you're supposed to. That's the other thing. You're not gonna account for oil changes, regular routine maintenance. Some of you have never opened up that owner's manual. Usually they give you a separate service book or a guide, and it tells you at every certain amount of mileage, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, however, 10,000, whatever miles that mileage interval you hit, you need to bring it to the dealership so they can do certain maintenance routines. Some of you have never gone through that book for any period of time. And then people always would ask me, how did I get almost 500,000 miles on my Mustang? Because I followed that service book. Most of it, you really don't even have to go to the dealership. Some of it you can actually go to Walmart and get done. If you want to save a couple of dollars, if the $20 is a big deal to you, between what the dealership is paying, Walmart gonna pay, I say go to the dealership. That's all it be. They only doing an inspection, right? Y'all going to some local place, the Pet Boys is charging you $80, and the dealership would only charge you $100. Go to the dealership. Go to the dealership. A lot of y'all won't get the extended warranty. Now, I reckon you don't know how to, a lot of y'all, when you get the extended warranty, you fall for the hustle at the dealerships. Well, matter of fact, a lot of y'all ain't even ever bought a new car in today's world. So I'm gonna leave that out. But if you buying a used car or wherever you're buying your car at, you should then look, especially in today's world. You don't have to go through them. You can go right on the internet and get you an extended warranty. All of these extended warranty companies, you see the commercials, they all over the internet. You can buy an extended warranty for your car. Pay that extra $100 a month, especially if you're driving friggin' Uber, door dashing. But y'all won't do that. Because y'all so destitute when y'all start door dashing because you treading water, and again, you won't listen to me, give you that hand, and then you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems with a car soon and gonna need more help. Help me. That's where y'all, and then you want a man to come in and jump in and save you. But what about all that attitude shit you had when I was trying to help you, when it was really most strategic, when he was in a position where I could really help you? Now we in a life-saving thing. When you fucked up, same thing with your rent. Y'all wind up in hotels or sleeping on your homegirl couch. And that's when you want to try to reach out to the man. But you won't reach out to the man when he could actually do something. And that involves your humility. Y'all don't want to have no humility. You won't humble down. Y'all want to still have that attitude. And men today are like, fuck you. That's your attitude? Okay. Because in order, y'all think a man's supposed to just help you because you need help. No. What is the man getting out of it? What are you doing for him? You ain't doing shit for him. Why should he help you? It's a waste of his. He could be putting energy towards a woman who wants to do something for him. Like if a man has a choice between dealing with a woman with a nasty attitude who don't want to do shit for him, or going to find a woman who wants to do something for him, and even during that time that he's spending finding that woman, he's using that time to do stuff for himself. Because it's a limit, it's a finite amount of time. So that time is not unlimited. So the time he puts towards you, he's taking away from himself. So when men do that, we're making an investment and we're looking for ROI, return on our investment. And y'all not giving no return on investment. So we're walking away. You're a bad deal. That's the way men are looking at women in today's world, in today's environment. Y'all are bad investments. Y'all not your mamas and grandma and great grandma. They gave a return on the investment and they were dealing with lower quality men. Simple as that. So wealth, going back to generational wealth, you got to put yourself in position and maximize your situation all the time. I heard Anton talk today on the Millionaire Morning Show. He was talking today about, I don't know nothing about Detroit, Michigan, but he was saying, he gave an example of how easy it is to work, get on with jobs up there today. That makes sense. Because Trump is forcing all of those companies that ran over to Canada back into America, and now they're hiring again. And that's what he said. He's given a real world example of that. And he had his brother or homeboy or somebody telling us how he got hired with Ford Motor Company in December. He just crossing his 90 days. And he did it because his whole family is covered. His whole family is covered free, no money out of pocket for insurance, medical, vision, and dental. I'm like, wow. I don't know. I've told y'all many times when I was still working, the last job I had, I was paying $2,400 a month for my family to have them same benefits. That's saving me $2,400 a month. Look, if I was a young man like my sons, y'all need to be running to Detroit. Take your ass, my son. I'd rather my son go to Detroit than be down in Pageland, South Carolina. That's what I use the example of my cousin Ali. He got 20 years on the job this May with Verizon. And he pretty much started that job right around the same time or close to that time. My cousin was in his late mid 20s is when he started working for Verizon. Now he's mid 40s. He good. He got a nice little 401k. He making good money. I tell my son, if he was talking to me, to run his ass up to Detroit. That's what the old people My grandparents during the second Great Migration, that's what they did. They never had been to New Jersey in their lives. They had never been out of South Carolina. But they heard, they got word, there was jobs up there. Come on up here. And they went. And the rest is history. They eventually got on at Bell, different companies. And eventually that turned into Bell, a better opportunity at Bell Laboratory and Murray Hill. And the rest is history. That created generational wealth for my family. Not so much to my family ain't never got to work again, but all of my aunts is married. Hell, all of their husbands, for the most part, except for one, worked at that job. All of my aunts, the only person that didn't work up there was my mother. And then, of course, my Aunt Marion never worked there, but her husband did. He was over the engineering department. My whole family was connected to that facility. They all owned their own houses. Everybody that worked there, for the most part, owned their own house. That's my Aunt Joyce and her husband. That's my Aunt Gloria and her husband. That's my cousin Ali's parents. My Aunt Marion and her husband are connected to it. That's my cousin Milt. And they lived in a beautiful house in Whippany, New Jersey. The only person that didn't work there was my mother and my stepfather. Guess what? They didn't own the house. See the difference? So, I mean, slow and steady wins the race. I mean, I remember growing up those Bugs Bunny cartoons where Bugs Bunny and the turtle always was getting into the race. And Bugs Bunny would take off. Turtle just slow as hell. Right? He going slow. Bugs Bunny, ow! By the time he gets to the finish line, the turtle already there. He could never figure it out. That turtle was beating him. But the point is, slow and steady wins the race. And that's true with jobs. It ain't always about getting the highest paying job, but it's about getting a job with a good salary that you could stay on long periods of time. Instead of jumping in and out, unless you're a salesman. Being a salesman is different. Being a salesman, we understand that we're hired guns. So that's our lifestyle. We're gunslingers. That's what I did. That's what Imagine is doing. We're gunslingers. So always have your resume ready. Always be prepared to move to a better opportunity. That's just the way it is. That's why I've worked for so many companies. I'm a gunslinger. That's the nature of what I did. But I made good money at it. Imagine will too if she keeps up at it, So wealth, power, and resources. What to generate wealth, slow and steady, you need land. My grandparents owned land. They owned enough land where they were able to push that land, divide that land up that they owned to their kids. And then that's eventually coming to us grandkids. And that's going to eventually go to my grandkids and my kids. See, that's generational wealth. There are houses down there on that property that are eventually, it's going to come back to me eventually. Because my bloodline, I'm the one that developed my bloodline. My sisters ain't got no bloodline. And, and what I'm talking about is my mother's kids. Of my mother's kids, I'm the only one that has a bloodline. So it all comes back to me. Of my grandmother's kids, the bloodline comes through me eventually. So couldn't live with your own failures. What does that bring you? Back to V. But you got to have land. This is why I've been telling y'all, if I had some money, buy a quarter acre down here in Gaffney at the minimum. Buy whatever you can get. You can afford a whole acre, 10 acres, Gaffney, South Carolina, Kings Mountain, Gastonia. This is where I would buy land. That's why I would buy land. Houses in here are relatively priced the way Charlotte was priced, I would say 10 years ago. So in that 10-year period, Charlotte has quadrupled in value. It's really bloated. It's going to crash again. But in the meantime, people are fleeing Charlotte and running to the outskirts. So Kannapolis is blowing up on the other side of Concord, Salisbury, Locust, Midland on the other side, Belmont, Mount Holly, Gastonia. But if you're smart, go a little further out. Kings Mountain, Gaffney, South Carolina, to me, is more attractive than Kings Mountain. Because Kings Mountain taxes, even though they may not be bad right now, you got to pay for them hotels and that they're gonna build, and that casino is going to drive up the taxes. Gaffney is close enough to it, but it's in another state. It's not. You're gonna be more tax protected. I would target like laser focus on Gaffney if I was a young person still working a day. Buy it. Let me see. Let's see. So I'm not just talking shit, right? Let's see what an acre costs. Okay. Hold on. What is the average price of an acre of land in Gaffney, South Carolina?
The average price for an acre of land in Gaffney, South Carolina is about $41,717. However, prices can vary, with recreational land averaging around $444,317 per listing.
What is the average price of rural land in Gaffney, South Carolina?
The average price for rural land in Gaffney, South Carolina is around $17,118 per acre. However, prices vary, with another source suggesting an average of about $41,717 per acre based on a larger data set.
17,000, right? For an acre. So that means divide that by 4 to figure out what a quarter acre is, right? And you can negotiate it. The more rural the land, like, for example, it's right on 85. 85 runs right through that town. So the closer you are to the highway, that may affect the price of your land because you're going to have more access to utilities and roads. So you got to take account for those things too. So you may find a piece of land. So you may find an acre. Teach y'all a little bit about buying land. So you may see an acre of land for 20,000, and you may be saying, "What? What, man? That's high." But you got to consider: are there utilities already on that land? Is there internet already on that land? Now you ain't gotta pay for electricity to be a utility pole. It's already there. You ain't got to pay for water to come to that. All you got to do is connect your house to the water that's already there off the main road, right? So these things save you money. So even though you're paying more for the land, you're going to pay less for getting utilities, internet, water, sewage, those kind of things. Well, not sewage, because you're pretty much going to have a septic tank. But also, because you're in a rural area, septic tank's going to be cheap as fuck down there. As opposed to here in Gastonia. I mean, I'm sure there are places in Gastonia you got to have a septic tank, but it's going to be more expensive here. But down in Gaffney, it's probably going to be cheaper. Let me see. Wait a minute. So I hope some of this is making sense. So take, for example, 20 years ago, and I tell the story often, but in Indian Trail, Indian Land, Fort Mill, Tega Cay. When I was a young man 20 years ago, hell, more than 20, 26 years ago, when my kids were just being born, I would see these places because I traveled through them all a lot. The land was dirt ass cheap. And I would see land for sale, land for sale, land for sale. But nobody ever told me, the old people didn't tell us young people what to do, like I'm doing for you young people now. So I'm the old guy telling you now what I should have done 26 years ago. Buy land in Indian Trail, buy land in Tega Cay, which was a fucking fishing hole, Indian land, all in Fort Mill. Buy land. Start small. Get yourself a tenth of an acre, a quarter of an acre. Start now. Use your tax money. You take out some money on your whatever you can do. Take out a personal line of credit at your wherever, your bank. Get you a piece of land and pay it off. And then once you pay it off, sit on it. Just keep paying your taxes every year. And then until you get to the point where maybe you might want to make it into an investment property. And then you'll start looking at that time. I can't give you advice on that. I can tell you right now, if you were in that position right now where you already got the land and you don't know what to do with it, I put a tiny house on it. Put a tiny house on it. Some of these park model tiny houses, you can get them for like $60,000, $70,000, fully loaded, and rent it out. It would be the same as you owning a one-bedroom apartment. I mean, you could rent it, like I know right here, the one bedrooms right down here right now are going for around $1,000 a month here in this area, right? And this ain't fully loaded. If I could move out of here and move into a fucking tiny house for the same amount of money that I'm paying here, I would do it in a heartbeat, even for more money. Even if I can go up on my expenses slightly to get all stainless steel appliances, modern refrigerator, dishwasher, modern air conditioning, energy efficient, I would do it. I most certainly would. And most people would. And it's a lot of people. The guy next door is a single guy like me. He would do it too. And he's been here 5 years. Because we playing the long game, slow and steady. Even though I'm gonna try to get back up to Charlotte soon. Don't tell nobody. Shogun to Charlotte returns. Stay tuned. I'll do a trailer for it. So, but yeah, that's what I would do. And then you use that money. Now you got $1,000 a month coming in for this land that you paid for. Don't take you but a couple of years to pay off a few $1,000s. Pay that shit off. Now it's yours. You own it. They ain't making no more land. Now you can make it a couple of years down the road, you can turn it into investment property, right? Now you got $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month coming in, right? You ain't got nothing going out because you already done paid the motherfucking land off. All you got to do is pay the trailer, finance the trailer. So basically, what, 70,000? Well, no, you taking a mortgage out for $70,000 is nothing. So, and then you use your profit, save up your profit to buy that next piece of land and repeat. And you do this over and over and over the course of your life. That way, when you get ready and into my age, you got a significant stream of income coming in. You young men, if I was y'all just graduating high school, the age, I would be signing up for the military. And I know a lot of y'all punk asses and your mamas got y'all scared. Mom, want my baby going to war. If war jumps off, war really jumps off, you going anyway. You going anyway. Guess what? The first one to sign up gets the best deal. So go ahead and sign up now. We was at war for 20 years. Some people done been to Iraq and Afghanistan and all over the world and back, and they loved it. Like my brother, Damien, the Animal Silas, and he signed up again for it. And guess what? My brother is doing so fucking well right now. He on Facebook, ask him. Some of y'all know him. Tell me my brother Damien ain't doing well. Exactly. So stop being so scared, ladies. You let your man be a man. Well, let somebody else's son do it. Well, if everybody got that attitude, nobody's son gonna do it. And guess what? Somebody gonna come over here and stick a gun in your fucking ass, in your asshole, and you gonna be a concubine for some fucking Chinese man or Russian. Is that what you want, bitch? The security of America is the military, and I'm sorry. It requires blood. Blood in, blood out. And guess what? Us working class people, it's us men who gotta participate. The vast majority of us, my brother, me, my stepfather, my cousin Keith, who else? A lot of my friends that I graduated high school with, my grandfather, my Uncle Grady, my Uncle Luther, my great Uncle Luther, my great Uncle Jackson McKay. I mean, it's so many members of my family that I forget a lot of. My Uncle Candy, Bowen. My cousin Robbie, Big Robbie, was a Marine. So it's a lot of men who've been in and out of the military. Get those benefits. Now, right now, while this little conflict is hot, the sign-in bonuses are up. They giving you an extra $50,000, $100,000 for certain jobs. Sign up. I ain't telling you to necessarily sign up for infantry. Ain't no boots on the ground anyway. Being in the Navy is like being on a cruise right now. Do you think, first of all, Iran ain't got no Navy. So the Navy is the safest it will ever be. Ain't no Navy coming against us that can rival us. They on little speedboats with pellet guns. Like, get real. There is no danger for nobody, no seamen in the Navy. Stop. Let your boy go over there. We join the Army for 3 years. This shit gonna be over soon anyway. But y'all, let these boys be boys and let them be men. Let these men be men. I told my son Dream to do this. He's 26. 8 years ago, I told him to do this. He would have been in and out if he wanted to. He could have made a career out of it. But he would have been in and out. 3 years of his life. He wasted that shit anyway. Not doing shit. He could have did this. He would have had a VA loan, a car, money in his pocket, skills, or he could have stayed in and made a career out of it. Whatever. Seen the world. He would have had a whole different life. His daughter would have been covered. He would have been covered. It would have been great. But stop being so scary, ladies. This is why boys need fathers. Because y'all women make scary decisions. We've been sending men to war. To war. Not just into the military. Every major conflict on this soil, Black men have been involved in since the beginning, going back hundreds of years before the country was even founded. We've always contributed. And that, again, that's the return on the investment. Because, see, again, women always think they want to get something for nothing. But men don't see the world that way. We understand you gotta have something in it. You gotta have something in it to get an investment out. You can't just get an investment if you ain't invested. You can't get a return on nothing. Men understand that. And guess what? That's our lives. Our lives are always on the line. Always. Hell, my ex-wife moved my kids to the worst fucking neighborhood in Charlotte. My son could lose his life walking across the street to 7-Eleven. I would rather lose his life for something valuable in trying to achieve something greater, as opposed to just some nigga shit in the hood because his mama wanted to open up her legs and keep fucking at 50. Right? But that's me. That's me. Y'all got to understand the big picture. And this is why Black people, we not succeeding. We not participating in that wealth, power, and resources because we not investing anything. We're not investing ourselves. We're not giving our kids any direction. And because men are the leaders, this is why y'all aren't leaders, ladies. I'm sorry. Y'all proving us wrong the last 60, 70 years. Y'all proving it. You had your shot. Y'all ripped apart the Black community and fucked everything up. So you can't argue with that. There is no argument. Nothing has gotten better from 1970 to now in the Black community. Is all worse. Nothing is better. Y'all the ones in charge. Can't blame it. The buck stops with you. Y'all have been given the leadership forcibly, by the way. Black men weren't asked. We ain't got no control over it. It got snatched from us. And y'all had been given everything. Y'all still giving all the advantages. We ain't giving nothing. We got to get everything out the mud, and we're still beating y'all. And y'all are just fucking up the community. It's time to be honest. Are there examples of y'all? I know a few women who raised single mothers who raised their sons and their daughters and done great jobs. Very few. Very few of the people I know I could put into that category. One or two of y'all. I got one person that I can think of. I'm not going to say no names. She got 2 daughters and a son. Her 2 daughters are killing the game. Killing it. She's doing a great job. But she was married. But her husband died. But since her husband died, she's continued on that path. Her daughters are doing phenomenal. Her son, a little shaky right now. I got a girl she been single the whole time. She been doing it by herself the whole time. Not 100% by herself. She got a family. She got family that she can reach out to if she needs some support. So ain't no men though. So they've been doing it. Her son, college educated, trying to do a grad school thing, figuring some things out. I gave her a wonderful piece of advice the other night about air traffic controllers. That's a great career path for kids who don't want to necessarily don't know what they want to do, especially boys, because of the video game aspect of it, the simulator aspect of it. Boys are perfect for it. They need air traffic controllers, and they start out around once you get into the career, about $80,000 a year. Some states, some cities, high traffic cities like Atlanta, those kind of places, Dulles, I think they make like 130, 150 because they got to adjust for the cost of living. But if it were me, I would sit down and look at that. If I had a kid that was going air traffic controller and they came to me like, okay, Dad, what city should I be looking at setting up shop in? I wouldn't tell him Atlanta. I wouldn't tell him New York, New Jersey, even though the cost of living adjustment is higher, but the cost of living is higher. So you really not making as much money as you think. I would rather him be in like a smaller market, Midwest somewhere, Texas, Florida. No, I don't know about Florida, but Arizona, one of them kind of places, Colorado, where, those kind of places where he could really make a living and get more for his money. Land is cheaper, housing is cheaper, taxes are cheaper. So that money that he actually brings home goes further. Insurance is cheaper. So I would look at that kind of a thing, stay the hell out of California. If he's looking to buy a house, I would say stay out of Florida as a young person right now, because of the problem they have with the homeowners insurance. So anyway, again, I would sit down with my child if they asked me or they were willing to be receptive to that conversation and let's help strategize. Because my kids are hard-headed too. I try to give my kids advice. They don't want to hear it. Because they get that attitude, and a lot of that came from their mama. And, kids learn how to disrespect their fathers from the mother. And I had a lot of that going on. And it's not always right in your face when you can react to it in the moment. It's subtle. It's behind the scene. It's nah behind your back, but your kids can see her doing it kind of thing, And that adds up. And then your kids develop, well, you think you know everything. No, I don't think I know everything. I think I know more the fuck than you. Because you don't know a goddamn thing. Now, if you listen, I can help you. But again, that's that you drowning and I'm trying to help you. And you give me, if I want your opinion, if I want your help, I ask for it. Then fucking drown. That goes for my kids too. I'm dead serious about that. That's everybody. Ain't nobody, no exception. Even my kids. If you're drowning and I'm trying to help you and you want to continue drowning, that's God's will. That's Noah. You know how many people Noah saw drown when he was up on that ark? People that he had previously tried to save. That's God's will. What was it? The Canaanites? No, the Amalekites. When the children of Israel, they left ancient Israel, and God told them that there's still some work to do on them Amalekites and wipe them all out, decimate them all. That was the women, children, babies, the fucking sheeps and goats, everybody got to go. There are no more Amalekites no more. There are no more Egyptians anymore either. When God sends in us, we're his battle axe, he said. We children of Israel are his rod. We're his army. When he sends us in, we wiping them out. They done. They got to go. That's everybody. My God is a God of war. That's my Bible. That's what my Bible teaches. I ain't a Christian. I ain't into that Christianity Easter Sunday bullshit. I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. I'm one of God's soldiers. So when he sends us in, we got our ass whooped for 400 years in ancient Egypt. And when he pulled us up out of there, like he promised he would, he promised Abraham. And then when he pulled us up out of there, but you got a little work to do. Y'all ready now. Y'all battle tested. Y'all been hardened. You got to go over there and get them Amalekites. They did us dirty back when. I ain't forgot it. God said, paraphrasing. You got to go in there and wipe them all out. That included the babies. Slaughter them all. Same thing is going to happen here in America. Same thing. Wait and see. Some of y'all might get to see it. I might not get to see it, but it's going to happen regardless. Somebody in my bloodline will get to see it. But anyway, y'all ain't success. And everybody who is successful today in America, every group of people, I'm not talking about individuals, I'm talking about groups of people. They kicked ass at some point. They were ruthless at some point. Somebody in their bloodline, long in history, they ain't give a fuck about you or your people, and they stepped right on your neck and stepped over you to make sure that they people was good down the line. Now, y'all about that life? You got the stomach for that? That's why I don't play games with women. I don't play games with y'all. ROI. What's in it for me? I'm gonna make an investment, and I'm about making investments, and I'm about treating women very well. But for me doing that, for my well treatment, for my protection, for my problem solving ability, right? I've done procreation, for all of those things that I'm bringing to the relationship. What do I get out of it? That's what I want to know. What are you willing and eager to do? And I don't want you, I'm going to do it kind of attitude. I don't want that. I want to, because I willingly do stuff for women. I'm eager and willing to do stuff for you. But you got to humble down. You got to be willing to attitude shit for no reason. Like, I could see you having a reason to have an attitude. That I understand. Like, I fucked up, did something, you got an attitude with me. That's cool. I understand that. But you just randomly out of nowhere, because something else happened somewhere over there, you gonna bring that shit to me and disrespect me? Nah, I ain't with that shit. The fuck out of here. And I tell you, young men, I'm telling you to develop yourselves so you're in a position where you can say, get the fuck up out of here. That's what I'm saying to you. Put yourself in position. Now, I mean, I'm not going to, well, I'm trying to debate, do I want to tell that story? My plan was to allow my kids to be able to stay at home until they were in that position where they would be making power moves, not just throwing them out of the nest and hope they can fly kind of thing. That wasn't my strategy, but that's ultimately what happened because I got sick, and that's the situation my ex-wife created. And now my kids are being affected by that, and it pains me. It pains me to see my kids go through things that I know I was trying to prevent years ago from even happening. I didn't even want them to know about certain things, certain negative experiences that, I mean, we all gonna have difficult times. I know that. I'm not trying to protect my kids from that, a fairy tale kind of thing. But certain things I know should have never happened. I tried to prevent, not just with my ex-wife, but even in my broader family, certain moves that was made because the women were in charge of the family and they made dumbass decisions like, and I'm not going to get into it, but they made bad decisions. And now the family is suffering. The broader family is suffering because of those bad decisions that I told them specifically not to make because that's what would happen. That's what pissed me off. You know, checking the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to my mods. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Welcome to the People's Podcast. I am your host, V. Ben Israel. If you just now tuning in, I appreciate you. We were talking about Bloom Energy, and I went way the fuck off on the tangent. Let me reel it back in. Buy Bloom Energy. All y'all can do this. Even those of you who never bought a stock before, you can go over to CASHAPP. You should already have it set up where you can buy stocks in Bitcoin. If you don't, do so now. And it may take a couple of days for that to initialize. Those of you who already can buy Bitcoin, if you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy stock. Search for BE, the letter B, the letter E, Bravo Echo, Bloom Energy. I don't care what you got. I know you got $5, $10. Buy $10. Buy $10 in Bloom Energy right now and just sit on it. Now, that's for those of you who you want to stick your toe in the water. Because I'm not really sure. I ain't never done this before, and I don't know. Okay, that's for y'all. Now, those of you who want to make some money and you've been looking for an investment, right now, throw $100 on Bloom Energy. You're gonna make money. I've been screaming this for the last 2 months. Right now, this month, we at the 23rd, right? Ain't it the 23rd? Yes, we're at the 23rd. Month to date, it's up 60% for the month, from month of April. I'd have to go over to Robinhood to be able to see how long it's been for 2 months, because Cash App is not that detailed. But it might even gone up anymore since we've been talking. Let's see. They've been killing it. Nah, it's still 63. It's still at 63%. You want to make some money. And y'all always talk about making money. Everybody bag chases and getting to the bag. I saw an old girl who was door dashing. If you do this, take your tax. I don't even know if she did her taxes. I offered to help her do her taxes. And when she got a son, I don't know why she wouldn't do her taxes. She probably blew that money because she behind on her rent. So who God knows where that money went. Because they just make bad decisions, fall in the ditch, claw their way out, fall back in the ditch, because they never make the adjustment to learn not to keep making the same mistakes. And they only want my opinion. I only want your opinion if I ask for it. Keep falling in ditches. But don't boo-hoo to me. You lose your boo-hoo rights. That's what they don't understand. They want to be able to just boo-hoo to you anytime they feel like it. And then at the same time, you ain't supposed, well, I asked for your opinion when I want it. Well, bitch, you fucking told me all of this shit. I didn't ask for none of this. I asked a specific question. I read the text message to y'all yesterday, I think, or the day before. I asked her a question. It was yes or no. Are you coming down here this weekend? That's a yes or no. Didn't answer my question and went off on a tangent and some shit. So what am I supposed to do? You told me this for what? Why did you tell me this? I'm supposed to respond to that, right? Because that's what men do. Men are problem solvers. So why did you tell me? If you didn't want me to say nothing about it, why did you even bother telling me? Keep that shit to you. All she had to say was no. Yeah, nah, baby, I ain't gonna be able to make it this week. I got something going on. All right, cool. And then we keep it moving. But the lie, because they lie so much, after you've done that consistently for multiple weeks, now you can't keep that lie up, and they feel it. They feel the heat of the lies. They keep telling different lies. Instead of just coming out and saying, I'm fucking somebody else. I met somebody else, or whatever it is. I don't like you no more. Whatever it is, instead of just being honest and saying that, because see, they always want to leave a back door or have a parachute out of their current situation. Well, don't use me as your fucking parachute. Nah, own your shit. You met somebody else, hey, that's cool. Good luck. I'm a grown-ass man. I ain't got time to play these little girl games. Cool. You met somebody else, then fucking cool. Good luck. It's all good. I ain't mad at you. I appreciate you telling me. It's all good. The lies, though. And the lies by omission is the lie as well. So that was going on. So that's where the attitude comes from. And that's where you get that. If I want your opinion, I ask for you. Go tell your new nigga your opinion. But see, they don't want to fuck it up because they just met that nigga. Right? Or things is going good with that dude. So they don't want to fuck that shit up by unloading on him, but they want to unload all their negative energy on me. Nah, get the fuck out of here. That nigga he ain't making the investment. He don't get benefits without making an investment. So that's part of the investment. Let him deal with you. Good luck. That's the way I say. I had somebody last night playing games. You know, one time, one situation they asked, could they come over? And in the very same paragraph, they said, oh, I'm going to go to sleep here. That's a contradiction. Like, I never got a chance to respond because of one paragraph. And in the course of that paragraph, it's like they're trying to go debate things and figure things out in their head, but they're doing it verbally, like they're thinking out loud. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? So what you want me to say? You started out with, can I come over there? And then you ended it with, or in the middle of that, you go, well, I'm gonna go to sleep here. Okay. That was my response. Okay. And then, oh, you playing games. You playing dumb. I'm playing dumb. What the fuck are you talking about? So you're gonna ask me for something, and then you're gonna do this stream of consciousness contradiction shit, and then you're gonna accuse me of some shit and insult me? What the fuck are you talking about? I previously had already said, hey, why don't you just come when you get off of work at 11 o'clock? Now it's 1 o'clock and you asking me, can you come? Why the fuck didn't you just come here straight from your job? Why did you go home to come back here? Like, it's dumb. It's ridiculous. And this is a 51-year-old woman. I don't have time. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it with a younger woman. They're prettier, they're perkier, they're at the height of their femininity and sexuality and all that. Well, they're not the height of their sexuality. They're at the height of their attractiveness, and they're less combative and they're more cooperative, generally speaking. I'd rather deal with them except some old dried up bitch that been doing this shit for 30 years. Because this is just instinctively now part of her playbook. And she's been doing this over and over and over, which is why she's a single 51-year-old woman. 2 baby daddies, you know. She was married, but she don't remember how long she was married. So I even question whether she was married. Because everybody I've ever known who's been married knows exactly how long they were married. Now, when you while you're actually in the marriage, you may forget, damn, is it 10 years or 11 years? You may forget that shit because you may be counting from the time you met the woman, not from when you actually got married. So I understand that shit. But when you get divorced, you remember that shit. You remember exactly like a prison bed, how many down to the days, how many days you did. Man, I did 1,862 days, man. I did my bid, you know. Me talking jail numbers. But anyway, buy Bloom energy, young men. Young women, buy Bloom energy. Stop buying fucking hair and weave and bull rings and all of that unnecessary bull crap. It's never, you're going to look back on your life 10 years from now, and you're going to go, I wasted so much money. I know I did in my 20s. Oh my God, I wasted so much money because I had no guidance. I had nobody to tell me what to do. Well, I'm trying to do that for y'all. Stop doing that bullshit. You young men, learn how to cut your own hair. Or at least trim up your hair so that way you can minimize how many haircuts you need. Cut your haircuts in half. So get your haircut once a month instead of twice a month. Right? Trim it up every other week kind of thing. Save your money, especially as high as haircuts are now. Oh, shit. Haircuts is expensive. Even here in Gastonia, they're expensive. Did somebody text me? So now the chick is this chick went from not saying nothing, like ultra quiet, like super quiet. No dialogue. Like I ask questions and she just giggled. Like that annoys me over a period of time. Like I'll work with you in the beginning, but you a grown ass woman. You need to open your fucking mouth. But now all of a sudden she got all this mouth because I ain't been talking. Like I'm just like, fuck it. You playing too many games. I ain't got time for this. I'm a grown ass man. I ain't got time for this. You a grown ass woman. You know men like dick. And if you ain't figured that shit out now, you definitely ain't gonna do shit for me. I like women who like dick. I don't like women who scared of dick. And they don't need dick because they doing something else. They trying to buy a house at fucking 51, working part-time jobs with no credit by themselves. Like, the fuck out of here. I ain't got time for that. You want some other shit. Good luck with that. And that's where I was. And then all of a sudden, 3 days or 4 days go by. And then last night, I just like an explosion of conversation. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? And it's still texting like, oh, I'm at work. Oh, you woke? Yeah, I'm woke. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, the only reason I wasn't woke last night because you was fucking with me last night, breaking up my normal flow. Normally, I get up around 7 o'clock in the morning and eat my oatmeal. But because she disturbed my cycle, and she been disturbing my, I ain't gonna get into that too much. She been disturbing my cycle though. Let's just say that. So be breaking my normal shit. So I was sleep late. I slept later today. And they gonna text me. It ain't good to sleep so much. First of all, I normally don't sleep more than 4 hours to 6 hours a day. Normally, I don't. I've never in my life, I don't think, gotten 8 hours worth of sleep. Y'all should know that. I be up all night long. I done did podcasts on here and other people's channels. We done rocked all night long. We done brought the sun up and went to breakfast. Shit. But, and then been in the back chat after the live stream for another 2-3 hours and shit. But, yeah, I'm not going to play the game. And I'm going to force you to answer the question. And then what's going to happen, yeah, I backed off. You don't prove to me you ain't willing to rock the way I want you to rock. Cool. I'm at work. I don't give a fuck. How about that? The fuck that got to do with me? Cool. I know you work. Ain't it after 3 o'clock? Let me say that. Yes. She works 3 to 11 or some shit like that. I'm at work. No shit. Okay. Like, what you want me to do? What you telling me for? Like, there's no important information after that. Hey, I'm at work. I get off at 11 at night. I might stay late or whatever. I'm going to stay to 12. And then when I leave here at 12, I'm going to come see you. Okay. But this, I go instantly to sleep shit. Why are you coming to see me? Who the fuck gets off work and goes instantly to sleep? I don't work 12-hour days, multiple years in a row. I ain't never went instantly to sleep. I have 4 fucking kids and a wife and nephews and dogs and shit and fish. And I have other shit to do. She ain't got shit to do. It's just her. She ain't taking care of nobody but herself. You ain't got shit to do. Why you? And then you got to tell me it ain't good to sleep so much. You the one that's fucking sleeping so much, bitch. The fuck is you talking about? A little part-time job is only like 2 hours. Like, you ain't even working a full 8-hour day a couple of days a week. You only working like 2 hours a day part-time. That ain't shit. That's like working a full-time job. That's only 10 hours a day. That ain't nothing. That ain't even part-time in my book. You working what you supposed to be working. The hell. And so my response, because I'm working on being diplomatic, was, okay. I started to be smart ass like I normally would be and be like, okay. But no, I don't want no additional boohooing. Okay. Cool. I ain't got time for it. I'm about to go to the store, get some fresh air, check my mail, enjoy my day, talking to the people. I ain't got time for silly shit, man. It ain't no what's the benefit? Are you coming to suck my dick? Is that what you're telling me? Real talk. You coming to bend that ass over and spread them cheeks? Is that what you're telling me? Then I really don't give a shit. Because what else do you have to offer me at this point? What else? You're a 51-year-old woman, broke as shit. What do you have to offer me? And you don't even have good conversation. I can't even rely on you. I can at least say, hey, I enjoy talking to her. She don't talk. So what the fuck? What are you bringing to me? What is my return on my investment? Damn, my glasses are dirty. What is the return for me? What do I get? Yeah, and when ladies are like horrified when they hear men, well, why are you supposed to get something? Because y'all get something. Everybody gets something. If I make an investment, that's what an investment is. You get returns. You supposed to get people make investments to get a profit. So if it ain't profiting me, why should I make the investment? Like, what you want from me? Because she ain't got nobody else to talk to. And like, she just now learning that. And you realize that you fucked up, but pride ain't allowing you to just say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up the way I've been acting. Let me correct my behavior, start sucking some dick and spreading some cheeks and get it together. And the funny thing is, when I first met her, she had her ass out. I mean, her ass was out, jumping out of her pants. Like, now all of a sudden, that's what, y'all want to advertise, but now you don't want to deliver on the thing you advertised. You advertised ass. Like, what we talking about? But I'm about to get up off of here, y'all. I'd have been rocking with y'all. Bloom Energy, BE. Go over to Cash App. Go over to Robinhood. Robinhood's faster. Set up a Robinhood account. Search for Bloom Energy, or BE is the stock ticker. I would say if you can afford $100, put $100 in it. You will not lose money. You will gain money. It's up 60% month to date. Had you listened to me in February, you would already quadrupled your money when I told y'all to do it back then. Start listening. But we about to get up off of here. On your way out the door, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share to your socials. Thank y'all for stopping by the People's Podcast. I am your host, B. Ben Israel, the People's Champ, but you could call me.
It's your boy.